All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 304. Today on the show, Mamdani 1. We're going to tell you about the hordes of brown people and stupid women that got him into office. Then we have an illegal immigrant mayor in our migrant section you're not going to want to miss. Then in Urban Decay, we have a trans Nicaraguan migrant on EBT. Say that 3 times fast. And last but not least, in Urban Decay as well, we have some brutal examples of anarcho-tyranny. All this and more is Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 304, ranked the best news podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleccas Talks, the podcast featuring Richard Grabboy.
All right, 1 for 1 on the intro as always. Guys, bad news. Men's testosterone declines 1% a year after the age of 30. And even worse than that, men's testosterone levels are half of what they used to be 50 years ago. And testosterone is more than just your manhood. It's critical for mental clarity, mood, sleep, and overall vitality. But luckily, the patriots at Choq.com, CHOQ.com, have formulated a blend of natural herbal supplements that support your body's natural testosterone production. Just one ingredient in their male vitality stack has boosted free testosterone levels more than 50% in 21 days. And right now, you can get 25% off of your Choq subscription for life. Just go to Choq.com, that's CHOQ.com, and use promo code Fleccas, and that'll get you 25% off on your subscription for life. You can cancel anytime. Choq is made in America, and their all-American customer service team is standing by to assist you. Go to Choq.com, CHOQ.com, promo code Fleccas, or you can text or call them at 50-CHOQ-3000. That's 50-CHOQ-3000. Thank you to Choq for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Choq for sponsoring. Thank you, Choq. Thank you, Choq. I take my Choq every day. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Friday episode. Feels good to be here. Weekend coming up. It's getting a little chilly.
Yeah. We did lose a couple elections, though.
We lost a lot of elections.
Yeah, so
it's getting cozy. We lost a lot of elections.
Apple cider, but we're getting smoked everywhere.
We lost our best city. Mm-hmm. All right, we can kind of jump right into it. We have some good news. Nancy Pelosi not going to seek re-election.
Yeah, the dusty old bag of bones is calling it quit. 85 years young, and she decided to pull the plug.
Honestly, good for her.
Yeah.
She ran an operation. She made like $100 and something million insider trading, wreaked havoc on Trump, got shit done for the Democrats. Good for her. You got to respect it.
Respect a winner on either side.
You got to respect someone who's running an operation.
Yeah. I lose a little respect when I saw the downfall of America happen on her watch.
But that almost gets attributed to her success because that was her goal.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want that to happen, but she accomplished her goals and executed her plan. You got to respect that. I'm not happy with what she did, but she is.
Mitch McConnell, done. Her, done. They probably go smoke cigars together and laugh about how they played each other and, oh, we did a good theater job. And you know what? She didn't want to be cattle prodded like Dianne Feinstein into raising her hand on one last vote. So
yeah, they laugh.
She went out young, 85 years young.
And then they'll hand it off to AOC and Mamdani, and they'll light the torch. Gasoline is everywhere.
Yes.
They'll light the torch.
Here's the lighter, kid. Finish what I started.
With a cigar.
Fucking dark.
All right, well, let's get into some election recaps. I know you guys have seen most of it, but we're going to cover some things I think are important, even though we all know what happened.
Well, Virginia governor lost. New Jersey governor lost. I never think we were going to win that one. Mamdani won. And Minneapolis. The one shining light is no Somali is in charge of Minneapolis. Just the gay guy.
Who speaks Somali.
Yeah.
He's going to do the bidding anyway.
I just want to do an overview before we get into the election losses.
We'll start with New Jersey, a little bit of a lighter story, but there was an interesting stat when it came to the total number of votes.
Yeah, this guy said for the last 50 years, we would have 2 million plus voters, and the winner would get roughly 1.1 to 1.4 million votes. Somehow, we now have over 3 million voters, and the Democrat has 1.7 million votes, question mark? So
Migrants?
migrants, shady voting, I don't know, but there was a noted increase. The entire time was, 1.4, I think, was the highest, and that was a Republican in 1969.
And it's not, a few 100,000. That's like 1 million extra, and then they're all Democrat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they are.
It's a little weird.
Definitely something smelly there. And New Jersey, it's kind of a mafia state, old Democrat machine type state. So those are the ones who have no fear doing something a little shady.
Very
And I
true.
don't know what was done, but
Yeah.
it's just something to look at, right?
And we'll get into our New York City election. Everyone wants to blame liberal white women.
That's kind of the meme, like, the white women. And they were definitely part of it. Their hands are not clean.
Yeah, they are definitely part of it. But the real people to blame, and the real reason Mamdani won, was because of the hordes of brown people that were stuffed into New York and the rest of our country as of late.
Yeah, this election was won from the last 10 years from international foreigners, right? New York City mayoral election by length of residency in New York City from an exit poll. Born in New York, Cuomo 50%, Mamdani 38%. Less than 5 years, Mamdani 85%. He cleans up with the fresh transplants.
And there you go. And that's how they run their operation. That was the plan all along, and they executed it perfectly. Here's a picture of the Mamdani victory party. Look around.
Flags I don't recognize, Africans for Zoran, ethnic garb, brown, 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 black.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then Mamdani, he gave a speech, and listen to who he's shouting out.
I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties.
And stupid white women.
Yeah, thank you, stupid white women. Uzbek nurses? How many are there?
And that's who he's shouting out. And it makes sense when you look, just generally speaking, about demographics and who they vote for. If only white people voted nationwide, the whole country would be basically red, except for California and a couple other states. And then people of color, it's all Democrat.
And the bad guys know that. And that's why you've seen the operation over the last couple of years. And I want to say, you can blame liberal white women or colleges making people woke or whatever you want that's kind of like funny in a meme, but it all comes down to inflation, wages going lower, losing elections in major cities to a literal commie. It all comes down, it's all downhill from migration, guys.
It's all demographics.
Legal and illegal, because illegals can't vote. They say, I'm sure a couple slid by, and we're going to get to someone who became a mayor. So I think the sliding by argument is done when a mayor is illegal. We're going to get to that. But it's both. It's legal and illegal. And that's why we got to hold the Trump administration's feet to the fire. We got to nuke H-1Bs, all these people on visas and stuff.
It's not good.
It's really all downhill from migration, right?
Yes, and there is a little bit of a sleight of hand being done when it comes to immigrants.
Yeah.
We have a clip here from Mamdani where he's basically saying immigrants built New York City, which is true, and we're going to get to what kind of immigrants, but listen to his clip first.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
So they all lose it and go crazy for that. And it's true, New York City was built by immigrants, but when you look back at the immigrants that built New York City, it was all European American. We have a stat here for the 1905 census of New York, 97.7% European American, 2.12% African American, 0.18% other.
Yeah, so you could say New York City was built by white men, and that would be true. But when you're a communist, what is he, Ugandan, Bangladeshi mix who became a citizen in 2018, you say immigrants, right?
It's the sleight of hand.
Yeah, it's
Immigrants.
what's behind your ear? Is that an immigrant or a white man? Whoop, and then it goes up in a flame in his hand.
We're all immigrants.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you look at the people who built it. Look at the people on the rafters here. I don't see many Ramaswamis.
Irish firemen, Italian cops. That's what the speech in 1905, right?
Yeah, where's all the Ramaswamis at? We have a little bit of a clip playing in the background here of just some footage of all the people who are literally building New York City, and it's all people from Europe.
Yeah.
You know, and then the people from Europe, their lineage is who should inherit these cities.
Oh, for sure.
You know, but they do the sleight of hand and pretend, oh, immigrants the same as these people from third world countries who got here a few years ago. They built New York City, and you go, huh?
Yeah.
What was that last jump?
A Senegalese guy who somehow got a taxi medallion.
He built New York.
It's the exact same. Yeah.
So that's pretty unfortunate, and a lot of times these people obviously don't share our values.
Of course.
Can you read that tweet on the right?
This guy said, remember, it's not about race. It's about whether the immigrants share our values and our culture. Okay, so if they don't share our values and our culture, we'll deport them. No, that would be racist.
So that's the trap.
That's the whole point.
It's a Chinese finger trap. And we do have some more stats about the immigrants that built New York from Darth Powell.
Yeah, well, this is the United States as a whole was founded by 100% white European men. It was 80 to 90% white European for 200 years. During that time, it rose from dirt and dreams to the most powerful country on the planet. Nothing needs to change. We don't need your help.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
We don't need help from people from shitty countries.
Same thing can be said about the entire continent of Australia. The same thing can be said for a lot of places. Rhodesia, South Africa. Mm-hmm. You know who does what.
That's very
true. And you know who returns to squalor.
Yeah.
There's a desire. I want to pull back squalor. I want to open up that fire hydrant. Let the kids play in it. Grill up that guinea pig. There's a desire to return to squalor.
Cook with your feet.
Yeah. And you know, you don't want to be too dramatic about it, but like a lot of these third worlders, they'll naturally tend or trend towards squalor.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
So European Americans were who the immigrants were, but now when you go vote, they have vote here in 30 different languages.
Some of them I don't even recognize. Vote aquí. I got that one. I was okay with that one for a little bit. Not really.
That was the slippery slope.
That's the start of the slope. And then Pili di Cini. I don't know what that is. And then some of them I don't even know the letters. So that's where we're at, guys.
And we've mentioned before of why immigration switched from Europeans to third worlders and people from Latin America. It was from the Hart-Celler Act in the 60s. And we actually found this excerpt from a book. And apparently the Hart-Celler Act wasn't even fully intended to do what it did. Like they promised it wouldn't do what they did, but it ended up doing what it did anyway.
Yeah, I think what you're meaning to say is like, they said, oh, we promise we're going to keep doing it like for white Europeans, but we just want to have some optionality.
Yeah.
And then, so of course, the people who fought for it went back on their word.
So the Hart-Celler was always bad, but they lied initially and pretended, nothing's going to change. And can we read some of the excerpt?
To get it passed, they lied. Until 1965, U.S. immigration laws were written with one goal, to preserve the European character of the country. During the debate on the immigration law of 1965, Edward Kennedy, chairman of the subcommittee conducting the hearings, was passionate in his reassurances that the new law would not break with tradition or alter the nation's ethnic character. Our cities will not be flooded with 1 million immigrants annually. Under the proposed bill, the present level of immigration remains substantially the same. Secondly, the ethnic mix of this country will not be upset, contrary to the charges in some quarters. This bill will not inundate America with immigrants from any other country or area, or the most populated and deprived nations of Africa and Asia.
That jury says that was a lie.
False. Yeah, and you wait a couple years to figure out if it was a lie, and obviously it was, right?
And then it got away from us, and now it's too late. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we talk about on the show about the decrease of the white population and how it's like done on purpose, and that's the goal. And I found some tweets here that tell me that the white population is actually less than we even realize.
Yeah, this first person said, I went into a rabbit hole and now I hate the federal government more. The U.S. Census classifies Middle Eastern and North African as white. Look at the list. Sudan, Somalia. Your state demographics are a complete lie. They're classifying black people as white. And it's a bunch of those, North Africa, Middle East countries around kind of the bad side of the Mediterranean, right?
You look at the percentages and you go, oh, it's not that crazy. And
Yeah.
it's actually way worse. And then you read the second follow-up tweet.
The number of white people in America is far lower than reported. The number of non-white crime is far higher than reported. And the number of illegals is probably at least double what's reported.
And that's what we're dealing with.
A lot of the same things. And then you go, how could New York have gone so fast to a communist? And it's like, it's all migrants and their bad attitudes and their handouts. And I guess we have an example of kind of one of those types.
Yeah, these are the people saying the quiet part out loud.
So much money in New York, and now it's our money.
Yeah.
Are we paying rent tomorrow?
No. Yeah, we want to like free everything. So, and the benefit, train, bus, and also
Finally free.
finally free. Yeah.
More guns, mental health experts with clipboards to help people in need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you heard the nondescript brown guy with an India area accent. We want to like free everything. That's the gist. That's his beliefs. That's his belief system right there.
And his vote's as good as yours.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with democracy. It's just like 51-49, 51 wins, and all you got to do is just get to 51%, load it up.
Yeah, totally.
That's like literally what happened. And yeah, free everything. How about that? Saying the quiet part out loud.
Well, that's the average dumb voter. That's the average
He doesn't
dumb
even
lefty
realize. He
voter.
doesn't even realize that he's saying like.
Well, it is free to him. This guy's not a taxpayer. He doesn't contribute, and he'll stay along as long as the money keeps flowing in his direction. And now we say it's more about the browning of America or the dumping of migrants, but white women aren't off the hook either.
Yeah, white women are definitely not off the hook. We are going to get to our stupid white woman section, but before we do, we have a quick message from the wellness company. Guys, what if I told you you could have parasites living inside you right now, causing tumors and severe neurological problems without you even realizing they're the culprit? And we all know that doctors aren't trained to find the root cause of these issues, but Dr. Peter McCullough, one of America's leading medical experts, recently highlighted a shocking case in the New England Journal of Medicine where a man went blind in one eye from a parasitic worm. We are learning across areas of medical expertise that parasites are a real and growing threat. These are not third world issues. The CDC has even admitted that millions of Americans suffer from parasitic infections that often go undetected until they cause cancer, seizures, or even heart failure. That's why Dr. McCullough says this makes the case to do a medical grade parasite cleanse at least once a year. The wellness company's ivermectin and mebendazole parasite cleanse is a doctor-prescribed, USA compounded, gold standard combination designed to help the body eliminate all types of parasites. One cycle is 21 days, but you get a 90-day supply. The process is fully digital. You fill out an intake form, a doctor reviews it, and then your cleanse is sent to you within a week. Be proactive with the wellness company's parasite cleanse. Go to twc.health/Fleccas. Use code Fleccas at checkout for $60 off of your order. There's free shipping. This is for U.S. residents only. Cleanse your body today. Thank you to the Wellness Company for sponsoring. Let's get to housekeeping. All right, thank you to the Wellness Company.
Thank you, Wellness Company.
Very cool. Love those guys. All right, let's get to our stupid women section. People that also helped get Mamdani in office. We have some age and gender stats here. Can you give that highlight?
Yeah, this is the women who voted for Mamdani, and the square circled portion is women 18 to 29 went 84% for Mamdani.
Not pretty.
And women 30 to 44, just above that, the age bracket, 65%.
Not good.
So the younger they are, the worse they are, and they're going to live with the results of Mamdani. And young women that, obviously, that played out across all the elections that we had. 81% for Mamdani in New York City, 80% for Cheryl in New Jersey, and 78% for Spanberger in Virginia, per NBC.
Thanks, ladies.
Thanks, ladies. Enjoy the migrants.
Yeah, enjoy the migrants and the repeat offenders on your free bus. It's going to be fun going to work. And then we had these people. These are like leftist Democrat influencers who were at Mamdani's celebration. And listen to what she says and how she describes white culture.
Let me tell you something. If it was all white people here right now, it would be boring as shit. I've grown up in those circles. Everybody needs some spice, some color in their lives. Life's a lot better. That's the coolest thing about America. Americans have no culture except for multicultural.
Well said.
And we need to teach people how to embrace that. These crusty white people need to learn how to embrace it.
So it was hard to hear, but white people have no culture except for multiculturalism.
And these crusty white people need to embrace it. And as she's pandering to a mixed group of male ethnics, right?
And can you believe that she's a Jewish woman who's pretending to be white in order to promote multiculturalism? Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts. I would never suspect that. I would never look under that rock.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And then she says that, we're white crusty people. And there's a picture of her.
Yeah, there's a little crusty dog in her. She's a little crusty.
And she's a little crusty. And I was wondering, what is so good about brown cultures that's better than white? Like, they have soccer, we have football and baseball.
Yeah.
They have tamales, we have burgers. What's a good Muslim movie?
Lawrence of Arabia, kind of, but that's us again.
Slumdog Millionaire, is that the only one?
That's
and it's
India.
not even? It's
India.
Indian?
Yeah.
I don't even think they have a movie. And then halal food and street meat, that's not bad, but we do have pizza and Chinese food.
Yeah, we got our own meat. We got our own mystery meat. And you know, a lot of this leftist like culture comes down to like your ethnic garb, what you eat, and like how you spend time with your family or something, like the kind of surface level shit. I saw Memetic Sisyphus talking about that. And then some of the deeper things, like the way more important things, like how do you treat criminals, like trust or honor and integrity, you know, those sort of things, being on time, the like base level stuff that's not clothes, food, or surface level shit is like way more important. And it's like, oh yeah, we pay bribe for that. It's like, what? That's part of your culture? You know, so there's more stuff on top of it.
And keep in mind, she says we have no culture, but everyone from these third world hellholes wants and must come here.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And then their Vivek Ramaswamy laughs.
Yeah.
He thinks it's funny.
Their silver-haired Ramaswamy. It's a real chuckle out of it.
And then there's a statue I found. This is a famous statue, and it's one that the woman has a veil over, and it looks like a veil, even though it's made out of stone. A white person carved that.
Right into the marble.
And then a Muslim person would come smash it with the hammer.
Try to blow it up.
That's what they do, you know? And we have another example of some dumb white women. This is from Fox, but listen to what this lady says about what she cares about as a woman Democrat.
I think what's really important and standing out for me right now is if we can take ourselves like a high level, like not say immigration, not say economy, not say all the hot talking points, and just ask ourselves, how are we treating our neighbors? Like, how are we treating one another? And is it okay that yesterday, on Saturday, 42 million of our neighbors no longer can feed themselves? Is it okay that our neighbors are getting taken off the streets by ICE? Is it okay that gender-affirming care is being taken from young people who really need it to survive?
Okay, so the issues you care about, you're pro 42 million people being on food stamps, you're pro 50 million illegals, and then you're pro trans kids. Like, what?
And then 2 out of those 3 didn't even exist when this woman was born. You know what I mean? Like, illegal immigration at the date that this woman was born was like infinitely smaller. And then trans kids didn't exist. She had to be taught about that. So it's so crazy these are my most important issues. They didn't exist when I was a kid.
Yeah. And then listen to her on this follow-up talking about illegals, and listen to how she describes herself.
To neighbors, if there are illegals living among us, how many of you think that an illegal alien who came across our border and broke our first law, our sovereignty as a country, how do you see them as a neighbor? Are they?
Well, I'm illegal here, right?
Hold on,
this land isn't mine.
Hold on.
She's on some stolen land shit.
Yeah, and she interrupts the whole thing. It's a show of hands question. She goes, well, I'm illegal. I'm stolen land.
Her husband needs to tell her to shut the fuck up.
Honestly, yeah, that is the solution.
That's the problem there.
I know.
It's unfortunately, she's really a yapper, and she's retarded.
And he just said, happy wife, happy life. I'm not going to argue with her. Yeah. She really likes the trad stuff. She's done more research than me.
I'll go to the protest with you.
I'm going to sleep at the wheel. I already gave the country away.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. But all those things that she cares about and votes for feel good.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to help trans kids. What do you hate, kids?
Yeah.
You want to make a kid unalive themselves?
Yeah. What do you hate, migrants? You don't want to give them free shit?
These people just want a better life.
Yeah.
You know, these people are starving. They can't feed themselves. Instead of being like, why are there 50 million people on food stamps? Why can't 50 million people feed themselves? How did 50 million illegals get here? Why are these kids on some weird sex stuff? They shouldn't be doing that. Like, common sense, if you had a husband who kind of told you what's going on.
Or a present dad.
Or yeah, exactly. And so I feel bad for New York City seeing this happen, but at the same time, now that it's over, you kind of got to just watch it play out and say, have fun in the bed you made. Time to get tucked in.
Yeah, you're going to get tucked in. Sleep tight. Sleep tight with whoever Mamdani appoints as the commissioner of the NYPD. I'm sure he's going to be some fucking weirdo.
No more cops.
Yeah, good luck.
And then no more arrests, and then less crime. Mm-hmm. And we have a final clip to close out this election section. These women were asked how they would change the Constitution. Listen to what they say.
So if you guys could change the Constitution in one way, how would you change it?
Her first, gov major.
Georgetown University.
I was literally going to say legalize abortion.
Maybe abortion laws, you know?
Rights to abortion, like transgender rights to have surgery without necessarily parental consent. Yes, you have freedom of speech, but that doesn't mean you have right to sit there and scream at someone because they choose to change their gender or they love the same sex, things like that.
So should we add trans rights to the Constitution?
Absolutely.
Definitely adding in like policies that like make healthcare more accessible for like immigrants as well as like people in low-income communities.
Everyone's just a fucking retard.
She's a gov major. Tell them about abortion and illegals getting money. That's college. That's college.
A gov major. So everyone's answer, how would you change the Constitution, was abortion and trans shit and then free shit for illegals.
Yeah. And, you know, it's funny because we said don't blame white women, but obviously they're a big part of this. But we could handle that if there weren't hordes of brown people who had just recently been imported and recently been given citizenship here.
Very true.
We'd be able to handle that. We'd quarantine them as a voter base, right?
Yeah, I think. Well, let's hop over to our migrant section, which kind of plays off of this as well.
Yeah, it's all migrants. If you guys aren't realizing the big themes, everything's migrants. Yeah. Inflation, housing costs, a lot of things have everything to do with migrants. Bad election results.
Very true.
And that's why I will say that it feels like the Republican Party is not delivering on their promise, because we've had a lot of sort of promises about inflation and getting costs down and things like that. And then we have all these H-1B guys here who send money back to India instead of stimulating the economy with it. And then we have all these illegal migrants who haven't been deported yet. So they haven't freed up their housing stock in certain major metro areas. And so I feel like a big part of our economic promise delivery is dependent on getting foreigners out of the country. So that's why we want to hold the Trump administration's feet to the fire, pressure them, like revoking visas and stuff. You need to do more, flip more switches that like are just nuke an entire like section of our issues, right?
That's a good point.
So
that's what we need. And then with the Trump stuff, it's like you can't do everything. Everyone's mad about Israel. Everyone's mad about foreign wars, all the trips he's taking. And if we can get one thing to focus on, like if Trump can just focus on deportations, the visas, and H-1B, that would be a successful term in my mind.
And then I also want to acknowledge that like some of the young people voting for these socialist policies and dumb, communist type things, they're saddled with student debt. They have no path to a house. They can't afford a wedding. You know what I mean? So there are genuine gripes, and I completely disagree with the path they take to get rid of those gripes, right? But something needs to be done from the right on those issues as well. And I'm not saying forgive student debt, but if you open up good jobs because you just canceled 5 million H-1B visas, that's probably somewhere to start, right? You open up 5 million tech jobs, that would be pretty good for American kids who are graduating college, I would say, saddled with student debt.
That's a good point.
You know, so to act like you don't understand why people are voting left and socialist, and they're like, why not? You know, we have to do our own answer to that. And I think a big part of that is the illegal migrants. Also, another thing with the socialist voting and stuff is I think, and let me cook here a little bit. I know this isn't planned, but there is an outsourcing. You know how we've covered before how conservatives and Christians are more charitable and they give more of their salary and they donate to church and they help with food banks, volunteer their time. I think a lot of these Democrats and especially urban Democrats have outsourced their charity to the voting booth, and they just go, well, that guy's going to do some charity on my behalf. Do you agree with that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or like the charity is bringing the migrants here?
Or the charity is done through government spending. The government's your babysitter now, and they'll help you with the rent, and I don't have to donate any money or help volunteer at my church.
Charity's EBT, not a food bank from your church.
Exactly. I'll vote for my charity.
Charity is you coming here and getting a free house.
Yeah.
Instead of, let's create a home for some people.
So there's a mix of genuine social conditions and economic conditions that make people vote left, and then an outsourcing of their charity
That's a good point.
They want to outsource their charity.
Good cook, Richard.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our first migrant story. There was an FBI busted a attempted terrorist attack.
Yeah, this was in Dearborn, and I think it was late last week, but now we got the suspects identified in alleged Dearborn, Michigan terror plot. Muhammad Ali, and Majed Mahmoud, accused of stockpiling weapons for ISIS-inspired attack, according to FBI affidavit. Nice work, FBI.
Yeah, that's good.
If you guys don't have a Dearborn field office at this point, I'm sure you do, but
I feel like old FBI's before this would have been in on it.
Okay.
Trying to do it. Yeah. And now they're trying to stop it, which is good.
For sure.
They used to just say, all right, good luck. Go tear them up. Here's the guns.
Go tear Texas up.
Yeah. So maybe that's a nice change to see, and the FBI is catching it beforehand.
Overweight Muhammad Ali with gun at the gun range. You know, it's nice because you also see, usually you see these pictures of them at the gun range after a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing them before.
That's a good one.
Nice work. Nice work.
And then we have a little before and after, a headline before and after here. We're going to give you the headline, and then we're going to tell you what really happened. Can you read the headline, please?
Breaking. Video captures daycare teacher detained by ICE agents on Chicago's north side.
Sounds horrible. ICE is breaking into daycares now and taking the teachers away and leaving the kids unattended. But here's what really happened. Officers tried to pull an illegal alien woman from Colombia over. The driver fled and pulled into a shopping center where the man and women in the car got out and ran on foot into a daycare and tried to barricade themselves inside, endangering the children. The woman was arrested in the foyer of the daycare where she lied and gave a fake name.
Yep.
And then the media used a picture of her being walked out along with this deceptive headline. Thanks.
Pretty simple, guys. Pretty
Thanks,
simple.
media. Got to vote for Mamdani. Look what ICE is doing. Look what Trump's doing.
And you know what? I think that even if this headline was remotely true and someone had to go into a daycare center to get an illegal, was there an illegal there? That's all I need to know.
An illegal's watching the kids?
Yeah. Are illegals there? Because then it's okay. You know, everyone has, they're trying to make these, and obviously this is a fake news example, but they're trying to make basically holy sites or no-go zones where ICE should be embarrassed to go. If an illegal's there, I want ICE to go. That's where we're at right now, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're going to get to the story we mentioned in the intro, an illegal immigrant mayor.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day, but here he is.
The mayor of Coldwater, accused of election fraud. The charges come hours after he secured a second term in office. Attorney General Chris Kobach charged Mayor Jose Joe Ceballos with 6 felonies. 3 counts each of voting without being qualified and election perjury. Kobach claims Ceballos is lawfully living in the U.S., but is a citizen of Mexico, making him ineligible to vote. The AG alleges the mayor illegally cast ballots in the August 2024 primary and November 2022 and 2023 general elections.
Very nice.
Joe was smart.
Joe. Call me Joe.
Call me Joe. I'm your mayor. I'm Joe.
Yeah, tiptoeing around Joe.
But he voted. He lied on forms. You know, when you're running for mayor, you have to sign something at the bottom. I swear that I'm really, really not.
Yeah.
And he goes, yep, Joe. Joe Ceballos.
In his country, it's not a big deal.
I know.
You lie on the form. You pay the cop.
We do it all the time.
No big deal.
But yeah, so no illegals are voting. You know, that line from Democrats or the left, whoever. Illegals don't vote. They can't vote. This guy's an illegal mayor. You really can't tell me anything.
The illegal's the mayor.
The illegal's the mayor. The illegal's the mayor.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, let's get to our Muslim section within Migrants. This is just a clip of a drive-by. We're going to play it in the background. This is just what it looks like in Texas. This is in Dallas, and there's some Muslim holiday.
Texas Suhoor Fest, Dallas.
There's everybody.
They're outside the Ramada.
Outside the Ramada.
They probably control the Ramada.
Yeah.
They like the Ramada.
And then we have some interesting stats. This is a quick clip, but this guy's talking about mosques in a recent study about what they're preaching in the mosques.
81%, so 81 of the mosques that he surveilled were in some way or other preaching jihadism and hatred of non-Muslims. And this is in the United States. 81%.
81% of the mosques they looked into are preaching anti-American, jihad, anti-white stuff.
Yep. That's, if you've ever done studies, there's a famous study from 2017 on Muslims internationally. And if you look, we probably have covered it, but if you look at some of the opinions, it's fucking insane that we're letting these people into the West.
Yeah.
Data that's out there and available on their belief system. And we just go, yeah, that's fine. They'll take over London.
Yeah.
They'll go to Germany.
And it comes in phases. Like at first, phase 1 is you keep your head down and just load up.
Yeah.
Phase 2, you start to take more power. Phase 3, you're in charge. And we have a Zoom from the Muslim Brotherhood, Skype. And here's what they're talking about how this is different than the conquests from Muslims in the past.
700 years of our trial to conquer Europe by force failed. They did something wrong, very wrong. They tried for many years to conquer Europe through wars, only wars.
This is the soft Islamic conquest of the West. Basically, what the Islamic and again, I'm an Orthodox Muslim. What we couldn't do in the last, say, 20 years, now the West is doing it for us for free and even paying for it.
Allah permitted them to live off the infidel while they are subduing them. So it had sort of a parasitic type of attitude where they can live off of the host country, where their goal is to eventually eradicate the host culture and supplant it with Islam.
Thanks.
Yep, they tell you it's well known, their opinions are transparent, and we just are asleep at the wheel as a nation because white women want a constitutional amendment on abortion and trans kids or something.
And they'll call you racist for hating brown people.
There's also a thing like Muslims are basically almost encouraged or allowed to lie. Like it's part it's part of the subversion is like lie. And then they have these honest conversations amongst each other about conquering Europe.
Which we're actually getting to right now. Phase 2 for Islam is definitely beginning in Europe. It's well underway. Germany submits to Islam. Christmas market in Overath canceled. You know the Christmas market?
Mm-hmm.
They canceled it. That way no one drives a car into all the people.
Yeah, they don't even have to put up those pillars to stop the car.
Yeah, we just won't do it this year.
We'll just make it easy. Yeah.
Christmas, it's not a big one.
Is that a big one? Is that a big deal to your country and your religion? Nah. Let's let the Muslims win, right?
And then we have another migrant sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl while she slept on a flight. And can you read his excuse that he gave the court?
Yeah, migrant sexually assaults 12-year-old girl while she slept on flight. This was a British Airways flight from Mumbai to London. And his excuse in court was, I thought she was my wife.
My wife.
12-year-old girl. And apparently he touched her hand to test the waters. Very sick shit.
And she said, get the fuck away from me. She screamed. She might get in trouble for that.
Yeah, she'll probably be locked up. We'll see.
You know? And then we have another example.
And that's just on the side. The sexual assault, the rape gang stuff, that's just on the side of the broader picture. That's like, oh, we don't care. These people are infidels. We can do whatever we want with them.
Take what you can.
There's no religious meaning about a 12-year-old girl to them. There's no morals. There's nothing. So that's just on the side.
Very true.
To the takeover plan.
And
that's for fun.
Yeah. That's exactly. And this next clip is similar to the one we showed from America about this is about mosques, I believe, in the UK.
Now, Israel's war on Hamas has sparked suspected hate preaching in some of Britain's mosques. A Talk TV investigation today reveals footage of preachers in several mosques calling for Jews to be killed and Israel to be destroyed.
Now, we have handed the dossier of evidence to police, and officers from 3 forces are now actively investigating. Holly Hudson has this exclusive report, which comes with a warning that some viewers may find its content offensive.
A sermon at the Redbridge Islamic Centre in Ilford. The speaker prays with his congregation in Arabic to curse the Jews and the children of Israel.
There you go.
They just do it out loud, you know? They do it transparently, and then for some reason, all those speech laws in the UK, they're exempt here. They're exempt.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's very strange.
But you know who does get arrested?
Who?
This guy who was arrested for possessing a gunpowder recipe.
UK man arrested for possessing gunpowder recipe.
So no guns is why all the migrants are there in the first place. And then it's no guns to the point where it's not that he had gunpowder. He
was just sitting there with knowledge in his head going, yeah, I could do it. I could do it if I wanted to.
The recipe to make gunpowder.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. All right, our next clip. This is a bunch of migrants in France. One of the restaurants was giving away free fried chicken, and this is what resulted.
Paris, city of love. They're probably going to Rue de la Croix. Rue de la Croix. Yeah, you get it.
What?
They
It's
mob.
over. It's over.
Yeah.
Europe is done.
And they
I
got
feel
one
bad.
Frenchman. They got one Frenchman to actually report on what's happening.
And everyone goes crazy. And the stupid stuff doesn't end there. We have a story from Canada. New Canada Post Remembrance Day stamp honoring Sikh soldiers unveiled at Ontario ceremony. So they're doing this, something that honors the Sikh soldiers from World War II.
World War I, I believe.
World War I. I think it's both.
Okay.
And then when we look into it, 10 Sikhs fought in World War I. 10.
Yeah. So that's one of them. I guess that's one of them. Whoever. And then I think so. I saw somebody else asking AI, and they said 0.
Yeah.
So I actually can't even get an answer.
And that's who the country honors.
Yeah.
And millions of people, millions of Christians died. White people died. And then you honored the 10 Sikhs that may or may not have even existed.
And aren't the Sikhs also on stolen land? Shouldn't they have to apologize for something too?
That's a good point.
Isn't it all stolen land, Ojibwe Nation, something? Shouldn't everyone have to apologize? But they get a pass from that, I guess.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Well, we're moving on to our final page of housekeeping. Use the opportunity to tickle the post. Help us juice the algo. Leave a like, leave a comment again, then start yapping. P.O. Box needs to be full. Notifications need to be on. Old episodes need to be watched. And the link to this episode needs to be sent to the boys in the group chat. Okay. Really do that last one. Yeah. We are less than 1,000 subscribers away from 900,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe right now. And get some people to subscribe, you know? Because 900,000 would feel better than 800 away from it.
Yeah, that's a nice round number.
900.
Do it!
And then it'll be a countdown to 1 million.
Yeah, it will.
And that's fun.
Okay.
And then when I get to 1 million, YouTube won't send me the plaque again.
Okay. Yeah, YouTube will. Whoops, forgot to ship it out.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's get to, well, I'm just going to tell you ahead of time. This is a little bit of a schizo final page of housekeeping where I'm highlighting some of my favorite pets in the schizo realm that I follow in my algo online.
All right.
First, this guy works
Gay
at
guys kissing again.
You guys got mad about that. First is the guy.
As they should.
Yeah.
As they should. You disrespected your audience there. You'll never get to 900K disrespecting your audience.
Whatever. It's funny. All right. First is the guy who works at the pet store.
I'm noticing several items of dog food that I know for a fact do not exist. My manager Jimmy's like, oh, those products have always been here. I'm like, okay, you think that, Jimmy, because the Anunnaki took you out, rebrain shift you, put you back into simulation. I'm on psychedelic mushrooms. I know what's going on, not you. Proactive Health, pineapple, chicken, and whole grain rice recipe. Does that make any sense? Proactive Health, pineapple, chicken, and whole grain rice. Dogs don't eat pineapple, and they're not made out of pineapple either. Those are two completely separate things.
He's on mushrooms?
Mandela effect.
Yeah, puppy, and he just reads. Is he doing a joke? I don't even get it. Good for him,
His
though.
whole page is kind of like that.
Schizo shit? He's constantly on mushrooms?
Yeah, he's constantly doing something like that.
Okay.
And people are like, you cooked. He's talking about they did your brain chips.
Yeah.
The aliens did the brain chips.
Okay.
Next, I want to introduce you guys to Stacey Kennison.
Yeah.
So Stacey Kennison is a woman who's a lovely woman, but she's dealing with some issues. I believe Sandra Bullock is constantly trying to do witchcraft on her and her family, and it's kind of getting to her. All of her videos are like this. I really highly recommend this follow. We're going to play the first one.
It's me, Stacey Kennison. Please don't get around me and let some witch make you stink and say that you can have the bad smell to go with me and that you can have a Holy Spirit blessing from the church or somebody. Sandra Bullock and some people keep doing that. It's a crime of humanity. It's abuse and exploitation. I'm a member of a protected class, which means I'm legally disabled, and it's a felony to abuse and exploit me.
Okay, that's pretty concise. She's quick.
She speaks very well.
Yeah. Why would Sandra Bullock do that?
She's up to bad stuff.
And then I believe all women. So obviously Sandra Bullock is up to some bad shit.
And it gets worse. They're going after her family, too.
It's me, Stacey Kennison. If you see this video, can you contact Donald and Melania Trump and see what they can do to make sure that my mother doesn't keep being abused and people don't keep torturing her and withholding her money and her basic needs?
and so that they stop punishing my mother for caring about me and for my mother not murdering me. Can you please contact the president and see what they can do to protect my mother so that she's not human trafficked and sexually assaulted and victimized, and that she's not a constant victim of the Italian mafia and Jenny Mercer and Sandra Bullock and Hollywood and my ex-boyfriends and Jessica Mathias and other evil people that are upset about our superior breeding and about our Christian faith and about our status as being a Jew. Please contact the president for me and make sure that he...
Sandra Bullock again.
Imagine hearing this on the bus.
Doing it on the bus, you have to respect that.
Yeah, it's a certain type of person.
It's like I wouldn't even like take a picture of myself anywhere ever. And it's like she's going off and like, get this message to Trump.
I need to speak with Trump now. They're torturing
Donald
my
and
mother.
Melanie Trump.
Yeah, Melanie.
And then at first you might look at this and go, this is just a one-off lady who's like crazy and probably thinks Sandra Bullock's trying to get her.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I think.
That's what I thought for a little while until I found this guy who's the male version of Stacey Kennison.
Sandra Bullock and Reba McEntire will go to prison. In Jesus' name, amen.
So there's like a Christian angle to it too.
So he's got beef with Sandra Bullock and Reba.
She's probably, well, he probably is. I don't know if he saw Stacey Kennison's videos or if Sandra Bullock is also spiritually tormenting him as well.
Yeah, if there's a schizo influencer network and he was influenced. Yeah, I could see that.
And then 1% chance they're right and Sandra Bullock's doing some spirit cooking, torture these homeless people thing.
Yeah, it doesn't come from nowhere. It doesn't come from nowhere. 0.1% I'll give you.
There's a little chance that there's like some eyes wide shut shit. And
Sandra Bullock's a real ringleader, puppeteering.
And doing like some blood thing.
And she fried these people's brains and now they're fucked because of it.
Yeah, and she's like attacking them spiritually to get more favor from the devil or something.
Okay, fun idea. Fun idea.
Not out of the question. All right, another thing. While we're here, I've been doing this thing when you're talking to somebody.
Okay.
And you're looking at them eye to eye, you can kind of like, there's like a dominant eye. And this is just me purely cooking. I didn't find this anywhere. I just thought of it and it's true. So if you're talking to somebody and you're facing them, you can figure out which eye they're like right now you're looking at me with that eye. Yeah. So I'm going to look at you from my right to your right. And then you might switch to left and then I'll go left to left or I'll go right to, I'll chase the eye you're dominating.
Which one am I dominating now?
This one.
No, I'm left eye dominating.
Well, look more square at me.
I think you're already out.
So right now, it's that one.
Okay. Yeah, you got that one right.
And then I'm looking still, and it's still that one. And I'm going to go right to right or left to left or my left to your right. And you can kind of chase their dominant eye. And I think, this is me cooking, but I think it kind of makes you connect more or have like a deeper conversation or like you get past... It's like an icebreaker.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for that, guys. Try to find their dominant eye, and then with your dominant eye, line up. And then when they switch, because they'll kind of be uncomfortable once you figure it out, and then they switch, then switch with them and keep chasing that dominant eye. And I don't know if that's good or bad.
What's going to happen if they do?
I just think it's better to talk to people that way.
All right.
Because I find myself, that's what I'm doing every time when I'm talking. I'm trying to figure out what eye they're leading with. And then when they switch, when I figure it out, I switch too, and then I kind of just chase their eyes around.
All right. Not to be a hater, pretty useless tip, I think.
Well,
maintain eye contact, sure.
Maybe it's good, but there's more to eye contact than just looking.
This is advanced level. This is level 2 eye contact.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep it in mind.
Okay.
And our last piece of housekeeping, last piece of the final page, we're right on time. I have a new obsession car-wise.
Okay.
You guys know I'm a car guy, but I'm not buying like, Maseratis and fucking Bodega. What is it called? The $1 million one?
Bugattis.
I'm not doing that. I like iconic cars. So I have an old Hummer H2, blacked out. I have a Mustang 93 LX Fox body, triple white exterior, white leather, white rims. The vanilla ice car, basically. Last year, the Fox body. It's sick. And I have another car in my mind that I'm obsessed with. It's right here. It's the BMW 750iL between 1998 and 2001. It's a V12. It's an E38 is the model.
Okay.
So if you guys have one, I would like it. If it's exactly like this, black on black with the rims. But I just can't stop looking at them online. And it's not about stunting. It's not like, oh, I'm in a BMW, because like you can buy a 2015 BMW for cheap that looks like a modern one, you know?
Okay.
So it's not about stunt, oh, I'm driving a Beamer. It's about the art. It's like buying Napoleon's sword.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then people say, oh, it's not that good for self-defense. And it's like, I'm buying historical artifacts. I'm buying like the peak of BMW engineering and performance in my mind. BMW peak excellence.
Yeah. You like buying depreciating assets, though. 3 cars? Do you need 3 cars?
I don't need 3 cars, but depreciating assets, that sounds like what I'm doing. But if you think about it, that car was like $100,000 when it first came out, and now it's like $10,000, maybe less. Okay. So it's depreciated asset.
All right,
it's at the bottom.
Yeah, that's actually a decent point.
So it's like
You're right. You shouldn't get 3 cars, but that is a decent point. I don't think there's much lower.
It already depreciated.
The bottom already happened.
And there is a world in 10 years where it's like, oh, the V12.
People are collecting these
and they
now.
start going, oh, that's actually the sick one.
Okay.
So I'm actually buying the dip.
Okay.
It's already depreciated.
Yeah, that's a good point. That actually is. You're typically a bad financial guy, but that is a good point. You made the point.
Problem is I have a 1-car garage. And and stupid. And my parents are going to see this and go, what are you doing? Buy another car.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Stupid. That's what I do. But I let you cook.
Yeah.
It's the show.
But if someone in the audience has one or knows someone who's selling it, black exterior, black interior, and those rims, those alloy rims is what I'm looking for. And I don't want to pay much.
Okay.
I'd like it to be a gift.
Okay.
And then when I get it, we can do a special in Bonus Land where I talk about all the cars. And then it becomes a write-off for the show because a lot of you guys would maybe join Bonus Land to hear more about the cars, and that's why I bought them for the show.
Yeah, that's what you'd tell a tax attorney. A lot of people bought Bonus Land to hear about these fucking cars that I keep buying.
It's like we got 6 members.
Yeah.
So it was worth the stupid amount in cars. Mr. X.
10K write-off.
Mr. X is going to write off the 750 IL. All right, well, that's the end of housekeeping. We're now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first clip of Cringe of the Week. This guy found out that his family was slaves, and now he's trying to get revenge on the people who currently live in the house.
Found the white family that purchased the first black wood of my bloodline off the slave ships in Charleston.
Yep, that's what we came off of.
If I wanted to today, I could find the white wood descendants in southern Georgia and pull up on a fucking house. One day I will.
Yeah.
They ain't got no money though. I Zillowed they crib.
He got historical beef from the 1600s and shit.
Yeah, he gonna pull up, and that was a threat on television.
And when you pull up to the house, you can see the slave owners inside in the kitchen cooking dinner, having a family dinner right now. There they are. There's the slave owners.
Yeah, there's the Christmas tree. They really like Christianity, celebrating the holidays.
Yeah.
It's 400, 300 years ago, some people in their family.
He should track down the Africans who captured and sold his family first. That would probably make more sense.
Not good enough paperwork to that. So he's got to go with the white people.
Got to go to Africa.
The white people he already hates, too.
Exactly. And then we have some stats, which I didn't realize. The first legal slave owner in America colonies was Anthony Johnson, a black man. That's weird.
March 1655. He was the first person to kind of get legally recognized, I guess.
And then keep in mind, only 1.5% of Americans were slave owners. And also keep in mind, and this might sound harsh, but this is truly my view. If you were a slave and you were brought here, and then your family ends up being black in America with slave lineage, being brought to America as a slave was the best thing for your bloodline. If you're currently in America as opposed to like living in the Congo or something.
I agree.
So it sounds horrible, but like some people walked so you could run, and now you live in Chicago.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp was just saying, yeah, that's where I came in Charleston. It's like you and your brother both made millions in the NFL. Great life.
And it was all because your family came here via slavery. And you can say, oh, I wish that never happened. And then it's like, okay, now you're Shannon Sharp in some African country that doesn't have 2-story buildings.
Yeah, there's no football team there, Shannon.
So it does sound harsh, but the reality is that actually was the best thing that could have happened for some people.
Yeah. So a guy who was never a slave, never really had any hardship, he's fantasizing about killing people who also have ancestors who are on the opposite side. Quentin Tarantino and Jordan Peele are going to team up and make a movie where he's badass and he's got a samurai sword and he slices them up. Slices the families, goes one by one.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I have a quote here from Booker T. Washington, which I thought was pretty relevant.
He said, there is another class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles, the wrongs, and the hardships of the Negro race before the public. Having learned that they are able to make a living out of their troubles, they have grown into the settled habit of advertising their wrongs, partly because they want sympathy and partly because it pays. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they do not want to lose their job.
There's something about carrying the grievances.
That was in 1911, too. So that type of person has existed basically since the end of slavery. And Reverend Al Sharpton would be a good example of that.
Yeah, it got a lot worse.
Yeah.
And then we have a tweet here I thought was very interesting. Can you give that a read?
Yeah, Dave Green said, there is a consistent pattern that, as whites become weaker, the call to blame them for all society's problems actually becomes louder. As the distance from historic crimes grow, the desire for revenge becomes more ubiquitous. This isn't justice, it's opportunism.
That's a good point.
That's interesting, yeah. I could see it.
And then we have a lady here at the Denver School Board meeting, and she's talking about white fragility. Listen to how she talks about white people.
I believe that white people never learn, never had to, never will have to, unless they choose to bear witness to the pain that people of color deal with due to racism. I think the white fragility's peaked up again, and the slightest challenge around these things that people of color bring up, we will see that. And we're seeing that now, we're experiencing it. Rarely do we see white people having to be accountable to this pain.
Yeah, meanwhile, you see Urban Decay, the repeat offenders who get let out after 25 felonies.
Yeah, ma'am, we're actually discussing which textbook the third graders need. Yeah, we didn't ask about white people. She's got an open mic on the Denver School Board.
And she's going off about white people and accountability, and it's kind of like a progressive undertone. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the recent elections, half of white people are retarded and voting against their own best interests.
Yeah, for her to say white people never learn or they never face their actions or something, there is an entire portion of white people who are doing the woke struggle sessions, who fully bought into all these grievances, who are protecting trans kids and not calling the police on black people, who fell hook, line, and sinker for her shit. So for her to say all white people, it's ignoring the progress that her stupid side has made.
It's she's not going to be satisfied until it's 100% of white people fully bending the knee.
Well, and then those white people, they don't get any credit for doing it. So she's the people who think they're going to get a head pat for being, oh, no, I don't, I'm progressive. I get it. I get racial politics.
You're my neighbor.
Yeah, they don't get any credit for it. So it goes to show you're kneeling to the side that will never get enough,
It's very true.
Yeah.
And our next clip, Sydney Sweeney, remember she did Sydney Sweeney Has Great Jeans, the ad for the denim company. Mm-hmm. She got
American
pressed
Eagle.
For American Eagle. She got pressed in an interview and she was given an opportunity to disavow white supremacy, and look how she handled it.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. That was kind of the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Chad.
Yeah, I'm not answering your dumb fucking question that you formulated for something specific.
Yeah, trying to get her into a gotcha, which is basically trying to get her to go, oh, I disavow all the white supremacy, blah, blah, blah. And they're still not going to accept her. Mm-hmm. Or they're going to try to get her to say something racist and cancel her. And she just goes, nah, I don't really talk about things I don't talk about.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about people who don't bow down to the PR or the puff piece thing, the bullshit that oh, no, I'm just actually going to move through this. Any controversy you have, especially if it's fake or contrived, I'm not really acknowledging that. I'm on a fucking tour for a new #1 movie. Mm-hmm. I'm not really going to disavow white supremacy in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, lady.
No apology.
Yeah.
And someone posted this side by side, same energy from Inglourious Bastards, that guy.
Yeah.
pretty good.
Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino. Put more feet. Get Sydney Sweeney's feet.
All right, well, that's the end of our little white section. We have another cringe clip. Brylan Hollahan, still at it.
All right.
I compared the Grand Ole Party to a good old Southern Baptist church, a church that doesn't put an emphasis on its youth group, a church that doesn't put an emphasis on a college ministry. Therefore, when the older congregation of the church passes away, there goes the church. I remember telling this story to President Trump backstage before a rally, and he looked at me and he said, "Cool story, what's the point?" And I said, "Well, Mr. President, that good old Southern Baptist Church is the Republican Party. If right now we don't reach out and hand the baton to the next generation, there will be no future for the Grand Ole Party."
Trump saying, "What's the point?"
Get to the point, kid. This is a favor to your father.
Yeah, this sounds about right. All right, what's the point of the story? But he's talking about, we have a Gen Z kid talking about the Grand Ole Party.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? There's no Grand Ole Party.
It kind of is. I mean, that's the name.
No. There's the MAGA, America First movement, which is using the Grand Ole Party as like a vehicle.
That's true.
And then that vehicle is constantly seizing up and letting us down.
Yeah, and that vehicle is constantly trying to go back to the old ways and take our enthusiasm with them for old bullshit, Lindsey Graham bullshit.
Grand Ole Party, George W. Bush, Lindsey Graham.
Mitt Romney, remember him? Yeah.
So
I agree. I get what you're saying.
Brylan, we're just checking back in on Brylan, and it just looks like he's still not online.
I got my little Brylan outfit on.
You got your little Brylan Hollahan outfit.
Now we need to reach out to the young voters. If I had a Masters logo here, that would be a lot better.
Yeah, and I need you, Mr. President, to help us pass the torch to the young people.
All right.
And it's like, do the young people gravitate towards you, or are boomers writing your speech? A boomer wrote that speech, a Grand Ole Party. I know it's GOP is the Grand Ole Party.
Yeah.
No one talks like that.
True.
You ever talk like that?
No.
You ever go, we're the Grand Ole Party? What's like, what is it, 1850?
Yeah, probably.
Some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
The Mammoth Cheese. You remember the Mammoth Cheese?
What? No. What are you talking about?
There was an election. I took a 19th century politics class at Dartmouth.
Oh.
And there was, and I had a problem participating in class.
Okay.
I didn't participate enough.
Yeah.
So there was this thing where for the election, I forget who, like Buchanan or something, was running. And then they made a gigantic wheel of cheese.
Mm.
And then the teacher, to get me to participate, said, "Oh, it was called the Mammoth Cheese. Austin, what do you think that means?" And I said, "It was big." And he goes, yeah.
I actually remember that cheese thing. And like, didn't one of the presidents, an old time president, have the Mammoth cheese, and it was like in the White House, and anybody could come grab some cheese?
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
But that was like a little bit they did to get people to come vote. Come look at the Mammoth Cheese, and we'll give a speech. We'll stump. You know,
Gotcha.
stumping.
Oh, I know stumping.
But to get me to participate, he said, "What do you think that means?" And I said, "It was big cheese." And he goes, "Yeah, big cheese."
You're a charity case.
Oh man, that's so. I was. All right, let's get to our next story in Cringe. There was a Gold's Gym freakout because there was a trans in the women's bathroom.
And here's the confrontation kind of after the trans person was confronted.
How are you? Did you tell me or not that women like to see dick? I'm asking you a fucking question. Exactly. Get out of the way now. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No. That's fine. I want the video. You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay.
There he goes walking in the women's bathroom.
You get confronted, someone goes in your face, and then you retreat back to the women's restroom, locker room, where you got...
Where you're safe with no men.
Where the beef stemmed from, yeah.
That's absolutely crazy. And then we
nice
have...
to see some people still fighting. This was in Beverly Hills, too.
Yeah, so this is L.A. And then the trans... What was his outfit?
Not even trying.
Leggings and some cute earrings.
Yeah. So what? So what if the earrings are cute?
Paint your nails.
I know. Do something, right?
Get some acrylics or something.
And then he
Get
got
a sports bra.
He yelled back up. He kind of had to back up in a man voice.
Yeah.
And a woman called him out.
And then here's the post-interaction freak out from the woman who called him out.
Yeah, and I think Gold's Gym said, we're going to revoke your membership
to this woman. Yeah.
So the trans person was vindicated by the staff at Gold's Gym, and then this woman was saying her piece before probably never coming back.
Gold's Gym! Men, grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. The fuck?
I like her.
Me too. This is a like vindicated freak out.
Yeah.
You know, usually this would be an Urban Decay. Oh, she went to the thing at Gold's Gym. No, this is cringe.
But it's
justified. Brought to you by Celsius.
It's a shame to see.
She has the freak out. No trannies in the bathroom. Celsius.
And it's a shame to see Gold's Gym side with the trans.
Yeah.
Because Gold's Gym, when we were younger, was kind of like the hardcore workout spot where everyone's got like a pump cover and they're all gigantic.
Yeah, wearing a shoelace as a tank top.
Yeah.
That used to be the brand. Now
And now I'm assuming it went corporate.
Yeah.
And it's siding with trans people.
Likely bought by a private equity firm of some kind, you know?
Yeah, now they're milking it. And then we have some info about the trans.
Grant Freeman, a.k.a. Alexis Black, the man pretending to be a woman who invaded the female locker room at Gold's Gym, is reportedly a convicted criminal. Multiple arrests for drug trafficking and domestic abuse.
That's what you want in the bathroom with your ladies, with no men around to protect you.
Domestic abuse, likely on a woman hitter. And I said to Fleccas before we cover this, guy changes his name from Grant Freeman to Alexis Black. Shouldn't you keep the last name? So I thought that's kind of a sign that like you're playing a character. You're in a different headspace. It's like, I'm not Alexis Freeman. I'm Alexis Black. I'm a completely different person. I can go in the gym. I can go in the locker room.
Yeah.
Like it's like it takes it away. Shouldn't your first name just change? You're still the same last name.
That's a good point.
So I don't know. Something
Fully
I noticed.
reinvented himself.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to our final clip of Cringe of the Week. We mentioned last episode there was the Republican Jewish Coalition event.
Yeah.
And Randy Fine is a big Zionist. He gave a speech the other day, and he said something I thought was hilarious.
I am here to fight, and we are in a time where we need fighters. We need people to go out and fight. We need people who are not going to be afraid. Because if we stay silent in the face of what is coming, not only on the left, but on our own side as well, our time in this country could come to an end as well. Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault.
Kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it was never our own fault, which is weird because I thought it was because of usury, coin clipping, Marxism, compound interest, rejecting Christ, subversive behavior, and pornography. I didn't realize it was for nothing.
Yeah. That's crazy to admit that, even. You should probably just sweep that under the rug and be like, no. We never did.
It was never our own fault. And there's a funny meme. What's this meme?
109 countries? Sounds to me like some resilient little cowpokes. Probably make some really good allies. And it's the Hicklib meme.
Hicklib, which is pretty good. Yeah. And obviously anyone who doesn't fully bend the knee to the Zionists is labeled anti-Semitic. Yep. And that's something we've seen for a long time. I found this Ben Shapiro tweet from 2011. Ron Paul is manifestly insane. As in previous debates, he is now gripping the pen as he would the neck of a Jew.
You want to strangle me? You're gripping your pen? You want to strangle me?
It was Ron Paul, that sweet old man.
Yeah, like one of the nicer guys, right?
Who's just like a libertarian and like kind of got it right.
Yeah.
But he probably wanted to end the Fed or something. And it's like, no, we need that. That's one of our things.
Ben Shapiro, man.
You want he's holding the pen like the neck of a Jew. What?
Yeah.
Talk about like extrapolating to the most
projecting. Talk about projecting.
What are you talking about?
This has to be about Jews.
Ron Paul.
Yeah.
So it's a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of Cringe of the Week. We're now moving on to Urban Decay. All right, our first story from Urban Decay. Remember the Charlotte story we talked about last episode where the guy attacked someone at Food Lion?
Yeah.
We have an update. They arrested him, but they let him go.
Yeah, it has been revealed that both men who attacked and beat a Food Lion employee in Charlotte, North Carolina were released from jail less than 24 hours after being arrested. And we covered this already, the one guy who had been arrested 11 previous times, including for violently assaulting a woman. And if you guys remember that clip, weren't they kicking him in the head when he was down and cornered him into a room?
Yeah.
A second location? So
they let him go.
Charlotte, sell.
You calm now?
Yeah.
That was the last one?
I'm going to take the handcuffs off.
Number 12.
Yeah.
That's the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they'll get him again.
Fuck these guys, man.
And we have another repeat offender from Charlotte as well.
Yeah, breaking Dontavion Craig, who has been arrested a mind-boggling 51 times, was just arrested again yesterday for assaulting a woman in Charlotte, North Carolina. He was released from jail 10 hours ago. When will this stop? It won't.
51 times assaulted a woman and got let out.
And you can see the evolution of his hairline across the 51 arrests. And now there's not much left, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't stop the judge from releasing him.
Do you think he knows his Miranda rights by heart by now?
Yeah.
I got the right to remain
silent, right to an attorney. He counts them off on his fingers.
I
He goes,
know,
you
I
missed
know."
one. You can't keep me now. You missed one. You didn't read it off the card.
He's got like experience with getting arrested, you know? Like,
If a cop arrests him, like a rookie cop, he'll go, no, you don't do my fingerprints until after. He's correcting the cop on the procedure.
Cell 3? Yeah. All right, I'll take myself over there. I'm getting out of here a couple hours, right?
I'll show myself out.
Get a quick
Looks
meal.
like I did make the lunch window. Like he knows all the ins and outs.
And then you get lunch, you get a free meal, which is like a gift.
McDonald's, they usually buy it.
And then they let you go.
Yeah.
So, and then, we have some election results as well for mayor. Can you read that?
Yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina voters have reelected for a fifth term Democrat Mayor V. Lyles in the wake of Irina Zarutska's murder. Lyles wrote, "We will never arrest our way out of issues such as homelessness and mental health." And she's one of those white black ladies.
Mm-hmm. And she won with 70% of the vote. Yeah. 70% of the vote. I'm trying not to be black-pilled, but like we said for New York City, 70%. Here you go. Here's Charlotte.
Yeah.
Here's what you get.
Enjoy the spiral down the toilet bowl.
Yeah, it's already been flushed, and now you're just spiraling. And I feel bad, obviously, for everyone who gets hurt and assaulted and murdered. But when 70% of the people vote for a black mayor to vote for a black mayor, good luck.
Yeah.
This is what you get.
Yep.
We have some general Urban Decay here. We have a hot coffee toss on a fast food worker.
She said properly and apologize to somebody for being here over an hour. That's what you can have. Yeah, within 20 minutes. Fuck you. Nah, catch that hot ass coffee.
She had a line prepared.
Catch that hot ass coffee. Assault, violent assault, and you got to hit the line.
Yeah. Think she had that prepared before?
I think she thought of it in the moment. But for a lot of these people, when they do a violent assault, they do a line, and then it makes them feel like I didn't just kick someone in the face. I didn't just give someone second-degree burns. It was catch that coffee. It wasn't.
Stop playing on my phone.
Yeah, it wasn't a violent repeat offender thing. It was I hit a line. This was the hood justice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm sure they'll let her go if they can arrest her.
Police
She was mad that she was waiting too long for her food.
Yeah.
That was the issue.
That's what set her off. In her pajama pants, flip-flops with socks, and felony assault.
Probably paying with EBT.
Yep.
So we're complicit.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have a shooting that happened in a school, and listen to why.
A number of witnesses on scene who'd said that earlier in the day that Jacory had bumped into Pignon on school campus and had asked or told Pignon or told Jacory to apologize. He would not. The two agreed to meet after school off campus to fight. So right after the shooting, Jacory ran back onto campus at Oak Ridge High School. Our school resource officer, Deputy Nelson Rodriguez, heard the shooting go out on the radio, immediately started coordinating with school administrators at Oak Ridge High School. The school was placed on lockdown, and as information was coming in about who was responsible for the shooting, Jacory Redding was located in the school cafeteria, and he was also in possession of the gun.
So he was arrested, and he shot somebody because he didn't like the other guy's manners.
Yeah.
It's about manners.
It all comes down to manners with these young urban youths. And it's a 15-year-old Jacory killing a 16-year-old. And, this guy, I think there's something, he goes back into school with a gun. Like, you're on the run. Do you think you're going to get away with it? And go, better keep my head down. He grabs a mop. He starts
I'm doing
whistling.
homework.
Yeah.
What? We're in lockdown. What happened? You got a gun in your pocket. I'm doing homework.
Lockdown? You got gunshot residue all over your hands. Yeah, just fucking retarded stuff. He probably hit a line too. Like, catch that bullet. Catch that bullet. Should have said sorry.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Say it again. All right, now moving on to our anarcho-tyranny section. Our first story in our anarcho-tyranny section is this young man in Texas. They tried to give him a decade, 10 years in prison for speeding.
Yeah, and basically this guy is total scumbag behavior we can't endorse. He was essentially doing social media clout, like no license plate car speedaways. Like he'd find a cop, flick him off, blow past him, and escape to another county. putting people's lives at risk, total scumbag, bad driver.
120 miles an hour, 140 miles an hour, like completely speeding multiple times, posting it to social media. They found his social media.
Yeah.
But they try to give him 10 years, which is a little egregious when you think of other crimes that people don't get in trouble for, which we're going to get to.
Yeah, it's interesting. You make an example of the white kid, right? Like 10 years. And if you're doing driving scumbag crimes, you don't need to go in a cage forever. You could get 10 years without a license. Time to get a bike. Hope you got some quads, buddy. You're going to be riding a Schwinn for a while.
Lose your license and pay a huge fine.
Yeah, exactly. There are ways to do it. But trying to give this guy 10 years in prison was interesting to me just because of how many... we just showed you the Charlotte thing. This guy beats up a woman. They stomp out a Food Lion employee. They're out the next day.
You're trying to give 10 years to this white kid. Which doesn't make any sense. We have an example here, and this is in Texas as well, so we're trying to be consistent within the state.
Yeah.
Can you read what this person did and how in trouble they got?
Yeah, this is the anarchy side. So that was the tyranny side, the trying to give the guy 10 years. And then this is the anarchy side. Court records from the 265th District in Dallas County, Texas, revealed police arrested Tellez after he stabbed a man 7 times, resulting in his death. Tellez left the crime scene, returned with gasoline, then doused the dead man's body with gasoline and set it on fire. Tellez was initially charged with homicide, but pled guilty to the lesser offense of manslaughter. He received no prison time for his conviction and was placed back into the community with community supervision for 8 years. And was this guy an illegal?
Yeah.
So an illegal immigrant stabs somebody and then comes to douse their body with gasoline. But we got to give the young white man who's speeding in a BMW 10 years.
This guy.
Tellez can go.
Yeah. And then we'll knock that charge down to manslaughter.
Yeah.
What? And then can you read, this is another example. Well, this is the same example, but yeah, you get probation for murder is the takeaway there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the vibe is it's not a good thing. And like, I know we don't have consistent laws across every state. Some states have weird little caveats and weird little things, but it's hard not to pay attention to a certain type of person always getting off and always getting fucking let out. And then when someone is white or like someone should have known better, the hammer drops on them, or like the prosecutor takes a special interest, right?
Because white people should know better. For some reason, they have some standard or whatever.
Yeah.
And I found this meme of some lady judges, and it's POV, used a firearm in self-defense and are about to be thrown in jail for decades because you didn't retreat from the violent 34-time felon who was threatening your wife with a knife first.
Yeah. And then think about all the things like, say there's a liberal prosecutor, a liberal judge, and you don't have the money for the best high-end defense attorney on earth. It's like the prosecutor says we're going to charge you with these things, which might go a little farther than they would on any fucking street thug, right? And then the judge determines what evidence gets let into the courtroom. So the whole case might be stacked against you, like the way they did it with Derek Chauvin and George Floyd, like what the judge allowed the jury to see. Like the jury's making a decision without the full picture because the judge is a little liberal. The judge is a bald-headed black lady, and you shot a gun, and this is...
You're white, you know better.
And this is Massachusetts, not a gun-friendly state or something. So there's just so many pieces that can contribute to this anarcho-tyranny. And here's our last example. This is just a guy talking about it. This is on the smaller level. But it's a restaurant owner in Seattle who's competing with people who just buy meat and show up with a food cart and don't have to do any health inspections.
But this taco truck,
a business like Sergio Garcia's,
that's my book for license.
Needs up to 5 licenses or permits.
All this is my license and everything. That's a big book.
To sell food legally.
For my permits.
Money per year do you pay to follow the law?
Some more than $50,000.
$50,000 in fees, including taxes and insurance.
And these guys, meanwhile,
says nothing, not pay nothing.
It's against state law.
So the food truck people have to pay all these fees and licenses and health inspections, and then the people with the carts, they just show up with meat that they buy in the black market. Maybe it's like recently expired. Who knows if they're keeping it at the right temperature? Who knows if they're cleaning their thing at the right way, in the right way?
Yeah.
And they just get to do whatever, and no one gets them in trouble. And the reason no one gets them in trouble is because they don't have a permanent address. They're just on a cart, so they can't do the process of like sending them a citation.
Yeah.
So they just don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what people have to deal with.
So there's small scale and there's larger scale anarcho-tyranny. And there's just, it's like two different Americas these days.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on to our EBT section. We're going to kind of speed round through this. You know, you guys have seen the EBT points, and we'll make our points, but it's just more blatant EBT abuse.
It's really bad.
Danielle Grant is starving.
I know. I'm trying to see if I can get some food because we literally don't have anything to eat today or tomorrow. So we're going to try to make ends meet, and we can.
Desperate for food.
Look, fat. Here's the deal.
Joe Biden. I thought that was AI the first time I saw that. And I like how the news says, this woman is starving.
They're doing a bit.
Yeah, this woman is starving. And they wink at the camera. They lean in with the shoulder and wink. It's like, hungry? Sure. She's probably hungry all the time. Starving? I think we're 2 months away from starving.
Yeah, you can see the signs of emaciation, the sunken cheeks.
Yeah.
The hip bones protruding.
The yellow tint to the eye. She's really struggling. No, she's not. She's crying.
I thought it was AI at first, too. The mouth and the crying. Next, want to go right to the next one?
Yeah, here's another one. We're going to go quick just because we're kind of beating a dead horse almost. Although they still don't have their money. They're not really fully funded. So Trump switched on that last one on funding it. But a big theme...
He did switch back to not funding it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, right after our episode came out.
Well, we lose the election, so we're bribing anybody with it.
Yeah,
So, all right.
And these aren't our voters anyway. But a big theme that you see about a lot of the complaints is I have to use cash to pay groceries, right? I have to make a hard decision. I have to do X, Y, Z. And I don't think, that's part of being poor. It's like being poor is hard work, and you have to grind and make a decision and be smart and budget and, count your nickels and then figure out, okay, that bag of rice can last me till this week. These people are complaining that they even have to think.
Yeah.
They even have to try because we made it so easy for them, and we took away all their incentives to try before by providing them with a total safety net. This woman is a prime example.
And between bills and food, now we're going to have to start making choices.
Carlicia Grice is one of more than 1.4 million North Carolinians who rely on SNAP benefits. She gets about $1,000 a month to feed her large family. But on Saturday, what happens next? It's been the only thing on her mind for the last few days.
Even that's not enough. And we're using cash to pay for food throughout the month, going to pantries and just trying to make the ends meet because it's just not meeting.
SNAP benefits are set to expire.
So you're getting $1,000 a month, which is $250 a week, which basically could feed any family.
Of course. If you're smart, it feeds anybody. And then you have a surplus. You actually should have a full pantry right now, unless you've been going crazy.
This is like a second job.
Yeah, but...
and now we need to spend cash for food.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I do.
We need to spend cash for food.
Isn't that what everyone does, I thought? And 1.4 million people in North Carolina?
Listen to the line that she first says, right?
And between bills and food, now we're going to have to start making choices.
We going to have to start making choices. So, she was not even thinking autopilot, completely incentivized to not even work hard or do anything or grind. She didn't even have to think. It was autopilot before. And I don't think that's what the supplemental nutrition program is for, to just, hey, we're going to take care of this completely. The government is going to take care of this completely. I thought it was a little help. And $1,000 a month, man. So
bad.
She's got to start making choices and spending some cash, unfortunately.
And this next lady's complaining about the food she's getting from the food banks. And then we have some info about her and what she's spending money on besides food.
I didn't get my food stamps this month, and instead, this is what I'm supposed to survive off to feed my family. A bag of apples, a bag of oranges, tomato soup, oats, elbow macaroni, milk, peas,
a bunch of canned goods, just staples. And that is what poverty looks like. That's what not earning a lot of money looks like, unfortunately. That's exactly what it is. Canned food, making things stretch, getting creative with recipes.
That's it.
That's it. I don't know what you got accustomed to, right?
That's what happens when you don't make any money. Mm-hmm. And we actually have some info about that person who posted that. And here, can you read what it says?
Well, here's just two others. This is from her TikTok where she's getting her hair done and at a concert recently. Her entire page is going out and enjoying concerts. Then she lives off food stamps and cries about free food. You can't make it up. And hair is expensive. I don't think poor people have like, what are these, highlights or something? What's done with the foil?
Highlights.
Highlights. Poor people don't have highlights. Poor people don't go to see what? Shinedown, Simple Man? Whatever that song is.
He's going to Zach Bryan concert.
Something. I don't know, man.
Concerts, multiple. Her whole page is going to concerts. It's like if you're poor, you go to maybe one concert a year.
Yeah, you go to the
save
free
up
one.
for it.
You go to a show, like a free one.
So people just have this weird thing where they forget what real life is.
Yeah.
It's not good. And then our most egregious example maybe is what we mentioned in the intro. This is the trans Nicaraguan migrant on EBT.
The Oakland resident, moved to tears, had only been eating one meal a day.
I lost my job and I was sick for a couple of months because I expired by me and I couldn't work at the time.
They could just call 211 and they'll get connected with a representative that can kind of talk through their situation and help them.
Trans Nicaraguan migrant on EBT. It really hits all the stuff we talk about on the show.
Crazy. Wendy Barrios is his name, and he was crying on the news.
The only thing different would be if he was like a repeat offender who's now stealing the food.
Yeah. That would be the trifecta. But man, so insane. And then this is the type of shit you'd see in the USDA budget or USAID budget. This is the type of stuff you'd see on USAID, like, a Nicaraguan trans play. We're putting on a play for the trans Nicaraguans.
Putting on a concert for this guy.
But instead, he's here.
Yeah.
And where did we go wrong, right?
Not good. Well, don't get too down or too depressed. We're now moving on to Uplifting Gold, and we have uplifting stuff today.
Okay.
Our first clip is a funny bit.
How is that homophobic? That's homophobic. You're saying a guy can't wear makeup on his face, and that's unattractive, but a girl can do it. I'm not saying a guy can't wear makeup on his face. I'm just saying that I personally don't want to date a guy who's wearing makeup. And that's homophobic. That's not homophobic.
Yeah, so I left. Huge bullet dodged. Wow. I didn't even...
What is that, Pinhead? Or
Yeah,
do you know what
something like
is?
that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Good bit. Clean.
Next, this is after the World Series parade. And I put this in. I thought it was funny. The guy is clearly hammered. But listen to what he calls, what's the Japanese guy?
Yoshimoto. There's two of them. They have two on this team. Yamamoto or something.
Oh.
So you thought it was Otani. And
I thought he was calling Otani something Yoshimoto.
Okay.
We'll let it play anyway.
Obviously, when you got a guy like Yoshinobu Yamamoto on your team, it makes things a little easier, Especially for a guy like me that, all I did was bring in, a piece of fucking a pencil to the project to get an A. But I got an A, and here we are, back-to-back champs, David. That's right, Enrique.
Still funny. Still
funny.
Yeah.
Hammered on TV.
Yeah.
All right, next. I don't know what this is from. I saw it on Instagram, and I thought it was pretty funny. And it says this guy's got his priorities all fucked up.
I'm putting all my eggs in one basket, sir.
No, don't do that.
Yes,
don't
sir.
ever do that.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what the opportunity is.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
ever do that.
Yes, sir.
Did you say you got a family?
Yes, sir. I'm a rapper first, I'm a family man second, and I put God third.
Just going like this. Hold on.
I put all my eggs in one basket. Don't do that.
Rapper, family, then God.
And he's coming. All right, next we got Big Dogs Like Fleccas. It's pretty cool.
What do dogs do with that? Isn't that like someone's hurt? Someone's hurt.
I think when they hear like a siren, it kind of hurts their ears. So to like block it out, they make their own sound. But there is a howling thing where like there was a siren the other day and Jerry was kind of like, and then I started howling and then he started fully howling. And me and Jerry in the same tone were fully howling. And then there's sometimes I'll howl by myself and he'll kind of look at me like, what's wrong? And he'll think like I'm hurt or something's up.
Yeah.
So that's interesting too. Like there might be something where like howling is like, oh, someone's injured. Someone's injured over here. Help us. Someone's injured. Because Jerry, when I howl, thinks I'm hurt. Let us know in the comments if you know what the dogs are howling about.
Yeah.
And our last clip, our Pure Americana clip of the week, the best ice fishing machine.
Got the Scratcher boat. This is the first run with the Scratcher boat today. On the Mississippi, there's a lot of guys that have these. I've only seen one in my whole life over here. And I saw a Scratcher boat. I'm like, there's a lot of situations where I could use that. The first thing everybody says, what happens when it falls through? I got a pair of oars. I ore to the solid ice, get the front up, I get out of it, I got a winch on the front, I drop down a bar, winch it up, and away I go.
That's pretty cool.
Scratcher boat.
We're getting some ice fishing lore.
Yeah. People use that on the Mississippi, the frozen Mississippi up
Probably
in Minnesota.
all the way up. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. I didn't know they did that.
And they go ice fishing with it.
Good for them. I like the white people of Minnesota, Wisconsin, the ice fishing zone, Michigan.
Yeah.
Love those guys.
Get the Somalis. We need to get some more Somalis there.
You know, all those states are getting fucked somehow. I think Wisconsin's the only one that doesn't have like a problem minority group, but they got some blacks. But Muslims in Dearborn on the Michigan side, Somalis in Minnesota on the Minneapolis side. I hate to see our good states go down like that, you know?
Yeah. Happy birthday to Ryan on November 6th. He's a great husband.
All right.
That's the end of the episode.
Happy birthday, yeah.
Happy birthday, Ryan, November 6th. You're a great husband.
Very funny transition into that, though.
And thank you for watching, everybody. All right, Fleccas Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you want...
Hey, nice work. You didn't ruin Uplifting Gold today.
You thought that was uplifting?
No, the whole thing. Yeah, Uplifting Gold. You didn't ruin it.
With the gay stuff?
Yeah. At least it was funny, you know?
Hey, I do what I want.
I know, but you've upset some people.
I don't care.
People get mad.
I like making gay jokes.
All right. That wasn't a joke. That was just on video, two gay guys kissing.
But they had like a cute
just say
ceremony.
sorry.
They had a cute ceremony.
Just say sorry.
They had a cute ceremony. They had an open back lace that's just classy.
Wasn't no good bits. If you had a really funny bit at the end of it, I would have said fair play, but you didn't. So
classy,
you owe people an
open
apology.
back jacket.
All right.
And it was a cute ceremony.
I'm not mad about it, but sometimes you got to apologize.
All right.
Or you could be like Sydney Sweeney and just say, no.
I'll talk about when I want to talk about when I want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. 30-minute bonus land drops tomorrow on Saturday at 11 a.m. So if you guys are looking for something to do tomorrow or next week, or you want a couple extra shows, you can go 4 shows a week if you join Bonus Land. Fleccastalks.com is the website. And we did a Q&A on Wednesday. It was like 40 minutes or something. We answered a bunch of questions. A lot of people asked, what do you think about Nick Fuentes? What do you think about the Groypers? What do you think about what's going on with him and Tucker? We answered all of that in the bonus land. So go sign up. Fleccastalks.com is the website. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow.
really bad.
Danielle Grant is starving.
I'm trying to see if I can get some food.